What's up everyone? Noah here, from 840 Movie Caps. Buckle up, we are going for one hell of a ride in a political spin-off. If you can't handle spoilers, stay away. The film debuts fiercely, with Calvin robbing a bank. Calvin is a young South African man raised in the apartheid of South Africa, the toughest society in the world. With the majority of the leaders of the liberation movement in prison, killed or in exile, the young men found themselves forced to put an end to this madness. The main goal is to transform the country, through violence, attacking the city's key points, but with no casualties. At least that's how it was supposed to happen. The action takes place in the year 1980, Calvin prepares the assault, aware that he will be hanged if caught. Calvin, Tara and Aldo are preparing the sabotage of an oil tank, but the cops have their sources, too, and they know something's going to happen. Calvin wants to take revenge, though something seems wrong. He notices a number of suspicious things. They decide to abandon the act of sabotage, but the police are already on their trail. They start a crazy race through town. A cop, you guessed it, it's the mummy from the movie with the same name, makes them sweat. Masigo, their friend, loses his life in the confrontation. Tara cannot accept it. The three friends manage to escape through the sewer network, but the cops are after them. Calvin, sick with asthma, fails to keep up with the pace of the chase, but is covered by Tara. The confrontation is increasingly chaotic. With nowhere to go, the three enter a bank. The scenes in the bank are outrageous. Black people are not respected at all. Calvin insists it is not a bank robbery and is looking for solutions to get out of the crisis. Tara and Aldo are sure to have been betrayed, but Aldo would put his hand in the fire for Calvin. The situation is intense. Captain Langerman announced Calvin he had been following him for a long time. Calvin threatens to start killing hostages if he doesn't get what he wants. The police decide to send the helicopter requested by the criminals. Calvin gives a speech in which he apologizes in front of the hostages, then leaves the bank with his friends and a hostage. Aldo doesn't want to get in the helicopter, he senses danger and saves Calvin's life. The three are returning to the bank with an extra hostage. Tension rises between the three comrades. Tara threatens Aldo. Tara is trying to get information from the new hostage, but does not discover what she is looking for. Calvin also wants to find out who exposed their sabotage. He just finds out he won't get out of the bank free. With the arrival of the army, it is discovered that Christine, the daughter of the justice minister, is a hostage. Calvin is offended by the fact that the American in the bank offers him money, but after talking to him comes up with a plan. Calvin wants to turn all the action into a movement. Everything gets dramatic. In a new negotiation with the police captain, Calvin announces that he wants to have Nelson Mandela released from prison through a presidential pardon. Everything must happen in an hour, afterwards the three revolutionaries will surrender. What is the price of freedom? Everything. Meanwhile, Langerman starts working towards Mandela's liberation. As the hostages pray to escape, Calvin makes a new move, using the gold bars and diamonds in the bank. Christine asks Tara to release a pregnant woman, while other hostages begin to take action and force their freedom. Johan has a racist remark against the three, which makes Tara angry. The situation is getting more and more tense. Meanwhile, Calvin and Aldo set their plan in motion. Bad news about Mandela's delay in his release makes Calvin react. In an extremely brave move, they decide to leave the bank and set the money on fire. The brigadier wants to attack and shoot the hostage, which Captain Langerman does not accept. The discussion degenerates, and Calvin ends up threatening the American citizen, who sets the money on fire. Calvin acts bravely in front of the reporters, especially after he escaped alive again. The decision is to burn all the money in the bank until Nelson Mandela is released. After the money runs out, he'll start attacking the hostages. The brigadier has an uncontrolled reaction, being disturbed by the black people present at the protest. Christine is trying to mediate the situation again, but Calvin doesn't seem impressed. His problem remains the battle of South Africans. The hostage tries to play with Aldo's mind in a private conversation, asking to be released. It reveals that Aldo is actually the real informant. It seems that Aldo, blackmailed in connection with his pregnant wife, betrayed his friends. In a moment of madness, Aldo stabs the hostage, killing him. He sets the moment up to make Calvin not suspicious. Calvin and Aldo hide the murdered hostage so the others don't know what happened. In the next round of negotiations, the police captain expressly asks Christine to be released, which raises a question for Calvin. But Christine refuses the chance to be released, believing she must take care of the rest of the hostages. However, Calvin keeps his word and releases two hostages. Calvin's health problems are getting more acute. The brigadier refuses to use an old black woman in a police attempt to save Christine. Apartheid left huge traces in everyone's soul. In a lack of attention moment, Johan takes a gun and threatens Aldo with it. The situation is about to degenerate irreparably. Threats are being thrown from all sides. Johan shoots Tara, but consumes all the bullets, only managing to hurt her. Calvin refused to take revenge on Johan, though Tara longed to kill him. After what happened, Calvin decides to give only 15 minutes to the police. Captain Langerman seems to have no solution. Chaos created in the bank, a hostage goes unseen, arrives in the back area and discovers the body of the soldier killed by Aldo. She takes the knife he was killed with and tries to escape. Calvin is disturbed by the fact that the hostage is renouncing his ancestors. Somehow, he manages to convince the hostage to hand over the knife and not announce the murder. In a conversation between Calvin and Aldo, he wonders who the informant is. Aldo protects Tara, but blames Masigo, her lover who was killed in the beginning of the film. The pastor decides to help and he is the one who sets the money on fire this time. Calvin threatens to set the bank on fire if Mandela is not released. The police captain gets the letter. Looks like Mandela will be released. The letter is signed by the Minister of Justice. However, it will take a few hours. The captain wants to come in to make sure the hostages are all right, so that everything takes place according to the agreement. In the bank, the captain tries to assure the hostages that there will be no problems. He tries again to convince Christine to leave the bank, but without success. Calvin is getting more and more suspicious. Before he leaves the bank, the captain looks around one last time. He realizes that something is wrong. He wants to know where is Sekaba Masalola, the pilot killed by Aldo. Calvin loses his patience and tries to get the captain out of the bank. But Tara feels something is wrong and checks out the captain. He has a spare gun. Things are escalating again, but Calvin is trying to clear the air. Tara can't resist temptation. Calvin manages to free the captain, but Tara realizes that Langerman is the name Aldo said in a prior conversation, although neither she nor he should have known it. Only Calvin knew the name of the police captain. Tara realizes that Aldo is the one who sabotaged their operation. Aldo is in a rush, the situation seems to have no escape. He admitted that his pregnant wife was threatened. But Tara can't accept and shoots Aldo. Calvin no longer believes in Mandela's letter of release. In a discussion with the minister, the brigadier makes the decision to use force in eliminating the revolutionaries. Langerman doesn't agree. He believes Calvin is fighting for justice and does not want victims. But the brigadier is not interested in their opinions. Calvin seems lost. Christine wants to help him and tells him about the lady waiting for her outside. She tells Calvin that she is the daughter of the justice minister. She does not agree with her father's actions. Christine insists that she is not the same and offers to help Calvin by coming up with a solution. Coming out in front of the bank, Christine announces that the two fighters for freedom are not criminals. She tries to make her father take the right decision. Things are extremely tense. Christine is asking for Mandela's release. One of the snipers loses patience and pulls the trigger, thinking he will hit Calvin. But he misses and shoots Christine, killing her. They all seem lost. The brigadier believes that the man who killed Christine made the right decision and that he will not suffer. Calvin tells how his parents were shot by police, although they were not a danger. He still wants to avenge his family. Everything that happened in his childhood brought him into the liberation movement. He has a moment of honesty with one of the hostages, interrupted by Tara and the police captain, who announces the intervention of the SWAT team. But Calvin lies to the hostages, telling them Mandela is about to be released. Everyone leaves the bank, except Calvin and Tara. Captain Langerman is sent home by the brigadier, who gives the okay for the final assault. Calvin and Tara resist the crossfire, fighting for freedom, but they are both wounded. They refuse to surrender, ending up torn apart by bullets. This was a story based on real facts. Now that you got your spoilers right, go watch the full movie to find the missing parts. Thank you for watching the video.